This is a Harper Guys production.
The Harper contains foul language and adult material. If you are easily offended and thin-skinned, you should hit the stop button now. And if you are not a complete idiot, let's get this party started.
Let's get down to brass tacks, gentlemen. If I was informed correctly, the clock is ticking. Is that right, Jimmy?
You know, but good luck arguing that in court. Let me get down to brass tacks.
Listen, let's get down to brass tacks here. How much for the ape?
Jack, let's just cut the crap and get down to brass tacks here.
Are you hating on Neil Diamond?
Holy fuck Neil Diamond.
Our dream of deathmatch is going to come to fruition, and my golden ticket is going to pay off. Hoo-ah. Don't you fucking hoo-ah me, motherfucker. I want the ability of time travel. Dumb. This is stupid. Welcome to the Hopper, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jake. With me, always my co-host Adam.
That's right.
Coming at you with the first show of 2020. Pretty
2020, man.
Pretty excited to get that out there. You know, I'm excited. New decade.
It is a new decade.
Somebody tried to correct me the other day, and they said that the actual decade does not begin until the end of the year 2020. Is that true?
You would kind of think, but I think everything starts at zero.
I mean, that's how I looked at it.
Zero to 9, right?
Somebody corrected me on that. Because my argument back was, well, if under your logic, if we get to 1930, we can't still be in the roaring 20s, right?
Correct.
So that was my theory on the entire
It's kind of
thing.
exciting.
Yeah.
2020. All those stupid things are going to be clear in 2020 jokes. Guilty as charged.
Yeah?
Yeah, but still, you know.
I love the... everybody's like, oh, I'm leaving this in 2019, or leaving bad vibes in 2019. No, you're not. Yeah. You're going to be a fucking douchebag 5 weeks from now.
We're going to get into more of this here in a second.
Yeah, sorry. You're getting me started early.
Yeah. So let's do a little PSA.
Public service announcement, ladies and gentlemen.
Show number 60, man.
60.
We've been doing this now for about a year and a quarter.
Yeah.
Somewhere thereabouts. Appreciate the Hateful Eight and the few stragglers that
That's
we
right.
love.
We might be up to the Hateful 12 by now.
The Schmatterings, as we call them.
We've been getting some upticks.
Yeah.
You know? Well, welcome aboard to our new viewers.
And
listeners. We appreciate you.
You schmatter a bunch.
Jinx, show me a Coke.
Yep. All I got's a Dr. Pepper.
Fucking gay.
Weird it's not a beer. I'll explain that later, too.
I was going to say.
All right, so the PSA. Visit us at www.theharperguys.com. Follow and share. Also visit us at iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Radio Public, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio. If you're watching on YouTube right now, which we were hoping that you would be watching last shows, but we had a little bit of problems. That just happens when you're recording everything live, and we're, what, as Jake says, we are Joes, not pros.
Yes.
It does happen occasionally. So that one, you can't watch it, but you can listen to it.
It's an amazing green screen video, just for the record.
We had a good 5 minutes and it went whoop. Somebody out there might be like, I know what happened. I can tell you. But yeah, if you do make a comment in this video and let us know what we did wrong.
Yeah.
The only thing I could think is we had too many programs running and maybe just something blipped out. Who knows? Anyways, if you are watching on YouTube right now, subscribe, comment, and become part of the
Harper...
The show! He forgot. Last time we did the same thing.
I don't know what you were talking about. You become part of the Harper's
It was
Bazaar.
2 weeks ago we did the exact same thing, and you still didn't remember it.
No.
Become part of the show
Try me
if you
in.
comment.
Okay.
We're going to do that every week, and this will be just my gag for Jake, because he'll be like, I'm too busy to remember what your fucking dumbass says.
That's right.
Also, thank you to Ethan Maxwell. This is it for the Demilitarized Zone, which we'll be playing in its entirety, what you heard to begin the show, and then we will leave going out, and that's that.
Which we'll talk about that in a little bit too. The last little piece of the public service announcement is, if you enjoy what we're doing here and you're a true crime fan, don't be afraid to hop on over to our true crime podcast, The Gallows. You can find that on any of your major platforms. We're on everything: iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher. I don't know. We could go on. You could find us anywhere. That's the Gallows Pod at just the Gallows
Cast.com.
The Gallows Podcast.com. My brain is already it's on functional 2019 still.
That's right.
Apple must have slowed my brain down. So go over there, give us a listen to. Check it out. That is our sister show. If you're more into the true crime instead of the hilarious, and
you can be into both. I mean, you can be into this and that. A lot of people are into true crime. It's that show is getting more traction than this show just because true crime is more popular at the moment.
Yeah,
there's not a lot of categories for a common sense podcast like what we have right here. But hey, tell your friends.
But I'm gonna tell you what, as 2020 goes on, shows like this are going to become more popular because we're going to be running right into this November with a trail of heat behind everybody. Everybody's going to be on fire. It's going to be crazy.
We're leading the way.
Oh, man. We're starting out of the gate in January. There's other people that are already with us, too. I mean, we're not the only ones that are starting the race early, but coming down the stretch.
Oh. Didn't get what you were dealing out there.
November 3rd, man.
God, is it this year?
Shit gets real.
2020.
That's right. It's going to be some sane shit. Can't wait.
Whatever that is. Hopefully I didn't do some gang sign right there.
You might have. You might be on a hit list now.
Oof.
How's that feel?
Well, you know what? Maybe if we get more views, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
All right. So, on that note of 2020. It's a brand new start for a lot of people.
Sure.
That's kind of like... You see it in movies. You hear people talk about it. You know what? This year... I'm doing this, turning over a new leaf, and you kind of like, yeah, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then, kind of like in my household, it's always a joke because this year, and what percentage of people do you think it's got to be low? I think we actually had this conversation last year this time. But what percentage of people do you think it's got to be low? Carry through. Maybe you even had the numbers.
It was less than 10%. That finished off
like
at
an
the end 8%.
Of the year.
That finished off the end of the year with whatever they said they were going to do at the beginning. Yeah.
Just had a deja voodoo moment.
Yeah.
Because we were sitting here looking at each other in front of the mics. So I guess what I'm harping about is here. I'm tired of here. I'm kind of over everybody's.
I feel like it's different though this time, and I know that we probably think that every year, but this is the 20s, man. Like we're switching decades. It's not just changing by 1 year, like from 2018 to 2019, like this is a whole nother thing. Everybody had a different kind, shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people had a different kind of New Year's party this year than they've ever had. We had a roaring 20s party because it's the 20s. This is an era we're expecting there's going to be a lot of change. I mean, you think about where you were at 10 years ago and where you're going to be 10 years from now. I mean, there's about an 80% chance I'm going to be a grandpa 10 years from now. Freaks the shit out of me. That sounds crazy.
So you're looking at it as in decade form.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, and sometimes you need to look at things more in the broad picture, instead of it just being like, in 2020 only, I'm going to do this. Well, maybe this is where you step back and you be like, well, these are the things that are going to happen in my life. I need to start preparing for. And instead of making it a New Year's, I'm going to stop smoking and lose 22 pounds.
Which I think is the dumbest thing in the world.
No.
I'm sure I stated this last year.
Yeah.
Those who come out and say, I will never chew smokeless tobacco again,
are retarded. You're
going to do it sooner than you think just because you put that mark on it. Like, I'll never do it.
Yeah.
No. Something I'd like to start doing this year is just drink a little bit less. I don't drink a lot, but you know what? When I have a couple beers at night, then I fucking open the Cheeto bag, and then I stay up a little bit later because of the alcohol influence. So if I drink a little bit less, maybe I don't have a couple beers every night. Maybe I have one here, one there. Then I will, I won't lose as much sleep. I'll feel better about myself, and yada yada. So it's just kind of these things that you can't put a stamp on it.
Agreed. Well, one of the things about it is, and this is why I think people struggle so much, is they look at it as an end game. 2020 is the finite 366 days. Yes, I said that correctly. Happy leap year to everybody. It's the 366 days that it's going to be, to where when you make those resolutions in January, you're planning out the next 366 days. That has an end to it. That has a December 31st where we're going to roll into January 1st of the next year. We're going to start the whole process again. It's part of it is changing the mindset.
Sure, but
there's no end line here.
In the whole grand scheme, it's basically a self reflective moment where you're like, I would rather, or maybe I should.
Yeah.
You know,
It's annoying as hell. I'll tell you what was annoying for me today, and I just feel like you got to do it at a different time. Like you can't, you know how like you don't want to drive home on the freeway at 5 o'clock every day if you don't have to, because that's when everybody else is doing it. For all of you that want to improve yourself, I am totally on board with you doing that. All of you do not need to get a gym membership in January to stop going by March, because all you do is fuck it up for the rest of us for 2 months. Dude, I'm not joking. I saw probably 60 people taking tours today at the gym. And I'm like, you're going to come in here and you're just going to dominate, and it's going to be annoying until you guys finally weed yourself the fuck back out and get out of the gym. Because 90% of them aren't staying, right? You're going to get a handful that
90% are not.
Right. You're going to get a handful that they're going to wake up and this
But
is going to be
you
their
just said
thing.
it was going to be different this year.
I'm hoping that
So
this
we're
is
hoping
the year.
25% stay.
Yeah.
So 75% of you're still out. That would over double the numbers.
Well, I think one of the things that is going to be interesting about this year that we should all be preparing for is that come the end of the year, there's going to be one real happy group of people and one real unhappy group of people.
See, that's
and
where
they got to
that-
be prepared
that's
for
where-
4 more years of feeling that way.
But that's where you have to change.
How I have to change?
Yes,
why
you.
do I need to change on that?
Because everybody in this country is like that. It's divided. That's not how it should be. When I
didn't say that's how it should be. I'm just telling you how it's going to be.
No, but see, it's kind of like the media. They're in full control of all this bullshit. They're the only way we get this information about the Democrats, the Republicans, the lefts, the conservatives. They're the only cog in this wheel. So
I disagree with that. I mean, anybody that's really up on the
disagree?
times. Oh, did you
If there was no media reporting anything, how would you get your information?
the internet? Absolutely from the internet. Dude, the internet is the closest thing to real news you can get these days. It's not sponsored and owned news. We're going down a way different rabbit hole, but you're talking about owned channels with selective arguments and selective positions that they
You don't
put out
think
on
the internet
things.
pages that you're reading are selective arguments?
I think that there's a lot more of them out there that are just raw, that they will call a spade on both sides of the line. And I'm okay with that. And that's what I want to read. I can't listen to Fox News and listen to them be like, Donald Trump has never done anything wrong in his whole life. He's the greatest leader of all time. He's fantastic. I'm not taking that away from him. He's a human being. He's fallible. He does a lot of great things, but it's the people that act like that piss the other people off even more. They don't like him to start with because he's brash. That doesn't make him wrong. It just means that he's brash. But all of the other channels, I can't even listen to that shit. I mean, do you know how much viewership has dropped on most of these major news networks just because people can't count on them for actual news anymore? And I think that's going to be a trend that just keeps on going. You know what those channels are going to be good for, though? They're good for actual election night coverage, because they do have access to all the polls and the things that are going on, and as the numbers are coming in and declaring states and all that kind of stuff. Like, that's really the best thing that they can offer us at this point, because their commentary is all skewed dog shit.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's hard to find non-skewed dog shit.
Sorry to go.
No, it's
crazy
all
that
right.
way.
It's just hard to find non-skewed dog shit.
Now, here's a question for you about the change in year, though. And I already mentioned that we had a Roaring 20s party. Do you think that this is going to be the Roaring 20s Part 2? We are on the cusp of like legal weed everywhere. Oakland County, California has now legalized mushrooms.
What?
Mushrooms. Legal.
Where?
Oakland, California. Peyote. Legal out there. DMT. Mescaline.
DMT, isn't that what they put in the mice? Probably way wrong.
Yeah, you're way wrong.
What do they put in the mice killer?
Like PCP?
No, I think it was DMT.
No, DMT is the spirit molecule. I mean, like, and then there's like ayahuasca. Like, all of this stuff is becoming legal out there in its own little pocket.
I don't even know what half of that shit is.
So that's what I'm saying. But it's every bit of it is something that's organic. Like, none of it is
Grows from the earth.
None of it is like hyper processed stuff. I'm just saying. I think before the end of this century, all 50 states are going to be legal.
Century or decade?
Decade. That's what I meant. Decade. At the end of this next 10 years,
So I'm going to miss it then.
the Fed's going to be there for it. I don't know, man. I do kind of hope we make it to the 60s again, though. You know, because growing up, all we heard about was how cool the 60s were. I'll be like 81 in
Jesus
2060.
Christ.
I want to make it to the 60s again, just to see what the fuck happens.
65, I'll be 90, dude.
I'll be flying around my fly car all the
I don't
time.
know if I want to live to the 60s.
Really?
I mean, I guess you want to live as long as you can, but
I mean, that's what your 2020 is about, right? Start to take better care of yourself, eating your vitamins,
I
saying your
remember being-
prayers, Hulkamaniac style.
I remember being a kid and saying I want to live to be 100, but now that you're older, you're like, do I really?
I don't know, man. My great aunt just lived to be 100, and she was badass. And then within like 2 weeks, she was like, I don't feel good, and I'm gone. To where it was like the perfect ending.
Right, but
It was awesome.
I don't know.
That's my opinion on it. I think that this next 10 years is going to be off the chain.
It should be, and I hope so. I don't know. I just wonder. I don't know. It's such a big deal is made about this time. I just hope more people stick with it.
Well, good luck to them. I hope that they do too.
Good luck to them.
Maybe not.
All right. So you had something you want to talk about
Well, another thing that comes along this time of year, every single year,
coming
is,
up here in about a month and a half?
No, it's coming up right now. There's people that are getting started already.
I'm just saying I get paid here in about a month and a half.
Yeah, is tax season.
Bam.
And like it's like 4-letter words that have 3 and 6 letters. You know what I mean? Like everybody hates it. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how everybody else does theirs. I used to pay the 2 major ones, which I won't say who they are because I don't want to get any backlash from them. You know.
It's free advertisement.
Yeah, it's not because I'm not advertising for them. They would charge us over $200 to do our taxes. Last year, for the first time, I did my own taxes through TurboTax. It was so fucking easy. And at the end of it, because you can do the whole thing for free the whole way through. When you get to the end, there's a couple options that you have. One of them, it was for $49.99 or $39.99. You basically bought the protection to where they went through it and they're like, yeah, to us, all your shit looks right. Here's your insurance. To where if the government comes back and says, nah, you fucked those up, you owe
So
us
how much did you end up paying?
$50. It was $40 or $50 for and it was basically just to have the insurance to where it was like 10 grand in coverage. To where if the federal government come back and says you're off by $7,000 on what you owe us, TurboTax has to write that check. See ya.
That's good. But how much did it cost you to buy TurboTax?
TurboTax free, dog. $100 free. 100% free. And if you don't get any of the insurance like that, it is 100% free to use. No
I thought
cost
you had to
at
buy
all.
TurboTax.
You do not. You can get on TurboTax.com. It'll walk you right through the process. Absolutely free.
But
way
here's
to file
my
your taxes.
question. Here's my question. They claim that they can get more for you.
I mean, they ask a million questions to try to make sure that everything's covered that's possible
No,
in
I'm
your
not
life.
talking. I'm talking about like the big corporate ones that you're talking about. You're going to get away from because I pay an arm and a leg.
I'm going to tell you what, they're full of shit. I've gone to them for years to where I've sat down with these people and most of them are seasonal to where they've got other normal jobs to where basically they come in, they take an 8-hour class on what the updated tax code is. They have to pass this test with like a 60% to get through it. And then they're done. I mean, the last year that we went to one of the big guys, I literally was like, oh, hold the phone. Like, we spent $22,000 in college this year. We know that this counts a lot. Where does this fit in? Oh. And it ended up making the entire difference on whether or not we did or didn't have to pay in. To where, no. I have no faith in them. They don't have people that are there all year long. They have one person. They have one person in every building that's a badass. And we found that from going to a couple different locations. There's always somebody that knows exactly what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, I mean.
But there's a whole bunch that fucking don't. Like, I got to go ask Beth real quick. Oh, I'm not sure. I got to go ask Jim what's going on. You get people that are retired to come back and do taxes during tax season.
I agree 100%. They're not real knowledgeable.
No.
We've had the same guy for the last 2 years, and guess what? The last 2 years, he still acts like he doesn't know what he's doing.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
So, no, I totally
If you
get
sit down
that.
for a couple hours on your own, dude, I'm telling you, so easy.
Well, I'll tell you what. I know approximately, not to the dime, but I know in the round $1,000 is how much I should be getting.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll sit down for free one night.
You should,
and
man.
just see what it spits out.
I mean, and for guys like us, there's not that much stuff going on. It's not like
No.
we're trying to do taxes for a company on our
I
own.
don't even have college kids stuff.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you got what? A W-2, you got some insurance on your house, like those kind of things
That's
that are
it.
a write-off.
That's it, man.
Dude, you're done in like 10 minutes. You got your dependents. You just got to make sure that all their information's correct in there. Bada boom, bada bing.
Well, I'll tell you, if the numbers come out close, I'll pay the $50 instead of the. I mean, usually what happens is whenever I get back from my state,
Yep.
I've already said that's going to the tax people because
Yeah, to pay for
it's
it.
about a wash,
Right.
which is it's $200 to $300. I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah.
But you know what? Maybe it's a little bit of brainwashing. but I feel comfortable paying that, knowing that it's not my problem if something goes wrong.
But that's where you get the same thing from TurboTax. When you get to the end and you can purchase the insurance, it's basically tax insurance. Like, hey, we looked over your shit. All your shit looks good to us.
But did they look it over?
Yeah, because you actually have to like you have to scan and upload your shit to it. I mean, you still have to get it in there. You can take a picture of your W-2 and upload it though that way, but like they still have to have the paperwork. Or like what's really nice is if you wait until the end of January when everything has to be in, they will actually go in and they will pull your information in for you.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I did my own for years.
Yeah.
Did my wife's for years.
Sure.
And then, I don't know, in the last 5 years, we're like, let's just go down there and make sure everything's right.
Well, I'm an advocate for doing it the other way. And even if you're scared and you don't want to trust me right off the bat, I would tell you that because what you can do is you can run it all the way through to the end. You can run it to the finish line and not submit it to where it will tell you exactly what your taxes are, what you're expected to pay. If you want to do that this year and just keep that in your pocket and never submit it, just don't submit it twice. And if you want to go pay another company to do it again for the double check, do it. But we've been ecstatic with it. So, but I also know that we don't fall into. Do you know how difficult it is to get audited? Like being just regular people, the numbers are staggering. It's like 1 in 20,000. Like that will ever see an audit.
It still seems high.
That will in their lifetime see one audit.
Billions of people.
Millions.
Millions.
Hundreds of millions.
Hundreds of millions. And every 20,000, that seems like a lot.
But like they might get audited on one thing. You might get a question on one thing. Like, hey, the tax on this thing doesn't line up on the tax here. What is that? I had to do that one time a long time ago with a city tax. They tried to tell me that what I made wasn't right. I was like, okay, whatever. I paid them like the $12 or whatever they said they wanted just to make them go away instead of fighting it. But
yeah, sure.
But so I'm just saying, taxes, that's my thing. Get them done. They suck. Don't wait till April 15th or whatever. Unless you're paying in, then fucking wait all the way to that end.
Yeah, I get money back, so I'm like, this is like my savings account.
Yeah.
Like it's a payoff time.
It's happy time of the year.
We're happy for about a month, then we'll go back to normal.
Yeah, but you get the plan for everything and figure out what you want to do with it.
Do some vacation stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, the harp is don't pay too much and do it yourself.
Yeah. Because trust me, the motherfuckers that are doing your taxes ain't any smarter than you are.
Well, that's for shizow. I mean,
shizow.
Yeah.
What else you got on the list tonight, bro?
Okay, so I'm not dropping any names on this one either. We're gonna keep this one anonymous.
Okay.
But through my daily grind at the JOB, I mean, you come across things, and I came across something to where I had to get something done, and it wasn't my job.
Okay.
And during this last few weeks, a lot of people have been on vacation, so we're not fully staffed. Understand completely.
Sure.
But I needed help from somebody in their arena. I went and found the B guy. The A guy was on vacation. The B guy's there, and I'm like, hey, is the A guy here? Nope, he's not here. All right, and that's it. No, like, hey, well, what do you need?
Yeah,
nothing. Like, I had an apprentice with me, and I said, well, Mr. Apprentice, it looks like we're on our own. So I'm able enough and proactive enough to just, and been with the company long enough to just take charge and go do whatever I need to do.
Sure.
But it's like apples to oranges from what I do at the corporation to what this person does.
Right.
Fortunately, I'm inclined enough to be able to do some of these things, but I had to actually correspond with Mr. B a couple times, and it's just like flat attitude, barely any response. I don't know if I'm pissing the guy off because I'm taking charge and just doing it myself, or if he's relieved that he doesn't have to actually do anything for me. I don't know any. It's like talking to Bill Belichick.
So something that's falling on you that really should be this guy's responsibility as the backup to, we'll call him person A, right? So this
person
guy,
A is on vacation.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So this guy's supposed to be the guy that if there's a question, I'll solve it.
Now, I'm not expecting him to do jumping jacks and high-fiving me, but I mean, I've I just kind of wanted something like, hey, man, thanks for taking care of that. I got way too much stuff going on.
Yeah.
Not even a thanks, just like, hey, do you need help? And I'd be like, I probably can do this if you're busy. There was just nothing. So I guess I just had this little bit of thought, like, I even bitched to Jacob about it a little bit. I'm just like, it's like there's like zero appreciation that I'm like doing this guy's job.
Yeah.
And like I said, I didn't want a medal. I didn't want a high five or a pat on the back. Just a simple whatever. I don't know.
I mean, I would think if I was in his situation, at least I would want to double check and be like, hey, did you do this, and this to make sure? Because if it's fucked up,
somebody's going to look at that and be like, Mr. A and Mr. B did this, so...
Right. Like, what was your contribution here, Mr. B? And when he says 0, they're going to be like, WTF, man. Like, you're number 2 for a reason.
Yeah. Why did you let them do this then?
I get it.
So
I feel like that happens all the time, though. People that are able and capable and motivated and ambitious, they are the people that go out and get things done. There is such a large extent of people in the workforce these days, and if you're offended by this, then fuck you, because you're part of the fucking problem, that just want to pass everything off to somebody else. It doesn't matter. They will triple the effort to get it into somebody else's hands than what it would have taken them just to fucking get it right the first time.
Agreed.
It's so fucking annoying. It drives me nuts. Is our finger? See? It's even getting into it. It knows. Fuck you.
I didn't want the finger to fall off in the middle of the show.
Right. Can't be chicken the MAGA hat.
No. We need that.
I know.
But yeah, that just kind of, it just bugged me.
Yeah. Like, have you thought about being a smartass? Like, do you have that in you to be like that with this guy, or do you think it would just be a shit show?
He's newer, so I don't know him that well. Maybe that's why. Maybe he's just kind of like not out of his shell. But I think his profession.
Yeah.
This guy, no, I'm not going to even get into it. But
you can just say, like, hey, XYZ person is having a computer in the office. You know, I did your shit last week. Why don't you go handle that for me?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
should be part of your 2020, buddy.
At some point of this, you know, being appreciative for doing your job.
Yeah.
I mean, I know some people get a little bit pissed at me when I say, have you tried turning it off and on again? Because technically, that's my job to go turn your computer on. I know you're an advocate for this. I want you to come down here and turn my computer on, off and on. But anyways, but see, I do commend people. Like, there's been many a time where somebody be like, hey, I did this, and guess what happened? I'd be like, you know what? You're our honorary IT person for the day. You know, at least, even if it's a joke, at least I'm saying, hey, thanks for thinking outside the box.
Hey, I do it, but I'm still going to fuck with you about it.
I know, but I will still either, whether it's a little banter joke or whether I'm literally saying, hey, I appreciate it because you just saved me 10 minutes or whatever.
I know. But that's where I want to tease you back and be like, hey, I got pissed off customer on line 801. I just fixed my computer. How about you talk to this fella? And I know
you know what? I could.
I know you got a background that could do it too. That's a sad thing. You probably make him happier than I would in that situation.
I'd be like, guess what? I can't do a damn thing for you, but I'll get Jake back on the line.
So what's the moral of this, Harp? When you bake this all down to it, what is the singular point that you're trying to drive home here?
I mean,
if somebody helps you out, fucking just say, I appreciate it. Just a small thank you, anything, you know, or double check to make sure that what they're doing is right.
Maybe that rolls into another Harp. There's way too many people that just don't say fucking thank you.
I mean, I hate it. But when you go out of your way to do something for somebody,
even if it's just getting up at the dinner table and grabbing somebody the silverware or a pop or a glass of water, and you sit it down. Like, this happens with my daughter all the time. She's 14. Yeah, she's a stupid kid, but she's still smart enough to know that when I set that water down or a milk cup, just say thanks, Dad.
Yeah. You know what? What's funny is I'm the same way about that. But if I say it, you know what my blowback is sometimes? Oh, you just got to get appreciated for everything, don't you? Everybody always has to tell you how great you are, don't they? I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Being raised with manners means that I need to be exalted as a god? Apparently.
I don't know.
Sorry.
No, what I get is, you didn't give me enough time. I'm like, 5 seconds was way too long.
Right. As I'm handing it to you and it reaches your hand and you're pulling it toward you, that is the thank you time zone.
You know,
before salt is applied. It
must just be our generation, because I never thought I was the most polite child, but every time my mom would talk to somebody, she'd say, because I ran around with Matt, I him talk about Baker for a while, but they would always say, boy, those two boys are just the most polite, you know, this and that, but it's just how we were raised.
Right. Please, thank you. Right. Okay. Is there anything I can do to help? I mean,
I don't know if I said that too much, but
I'm just-
please and thank you was all the time.
Okay, but let me ask you: if you had gotten home from running around with Matt, and your mom was carrying the groceries in, would you just be like, she's got it?
It just depends what day it was.
Really, man? Those
No.
are the kind of things where I'd
No,
be like,
I was.
picking up 4 or 5 at a time.
Oh
getting
yeah,
them in the
yeah.
house.
No, of course. I'm just being funny.
There's a lot of people that aren't like that. Like they'll watch you struggle mightily.
Won't even hold the door.
No. I'll be like, oh, sorry, man, I didn't see you. Be like, really? You didn't see me when you were staring right the fuck at me?
I'm gonna tell you what. We had to move a couple times at work, and people that are involved, and I'm so proactive. I'm like going out and grabbing dollies, and moving big cabinets, and there's just some people and watching.
Yeah.
Do I have to ask you?
You do.
It's like, come on,
It
man.
might be their shit, but it's your job. That's how they genuinely feel about it.
Well, I'm not hurting my back.
I can't stand the minimalist attitude where people just won't do anything to contribute to the greater good.
Yeah.
God forbid it makes things a little bit easier for you if I chip in and do my fucking part. That's one of the things I believe in, man. Always
me too.
always do your fucking part.
Me too.
You know, when you're standing around at the end, you know how you used to have those projects in school, and I don't know if you ever had one where your group would get, let's say, an A was worth 500 points, right? But then you were allowed to distribute the points amongst the team, and you had to vote on who got how many points.
I don't remember that.
Oh, we had several of those over the years. I would turn it into a fight every fucking time.
Of course you would.
If I busted my ass on that project,
500 points. I at least get 250.
yeah, well, I'm not that bad about it. I'm just saying. If we got a B, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna get my A, and a couple of y'all can take C's because you didn't do shit. And if it wasn't for me, you'd be lucky to have a motherfucking C. To where stuff like that has always pissed me off. That's why I fucking used to hate group projects so bad.
God, I always that is. It's not like a fear of mine because
Yeah.
I'm a grown man now. I can work my way through whatever.
Sure.
But back in school, I hated like team building, group projects.
bleh.
I'd rather do. I think I just work better on my own. Like when it's a project like that.
Yeah.
Like even at home.
Maximum group of 2.
Right.
If there's 2 of us working on something together, that's a pretty even thing to figure out real quick.
Well, yeah. I mean, like a podcast. This is where I could not. I think, and kudos to those solo podcasters, but I just think it's too much of one opinion. I'd much rather have either similar or complete opposites.
Something.
And even at the same time.
Yeah.
It just seems like craziness just to be the one voice all the time.
Right.
Unless you're
what-
interviewing a bunch of people, then
Right.
fuck it, go for it.
I agree. I mean, I'm the voice a lot of the time, but like, again, anybody that follows us on social media, I could not sit in your seat. If I had to sit over there, this podcast would not get produced.
You wouldn't want to sit in this seat. Just kidding.
That's weird. Wasn't what I was trying to say at all. People have different talents. We'll just leave it at that.
Mine's making fart sounds.
And you shitting your pants. So what's too good to be true?
Okay. Is it too good to be true?
What?
Okay, well, I'm just telling you. Don't be fooled by those get-rich-quick schemes, and watch out for the great idea guys.
Well, that's my whole life, man. And I'm not wrong on all of them. There's times there's times I'll be like, dude, I have an idea. Boom.
I wrote that in, and I don't. Jake always like picking at my shit, but I like made sure he didn't see that one because he's like, wait a minute, that's me.
Were you chuckling as you wrote that? You had to have been because you're laughing about it now.
No, but this is that part's fun. But the other, okay, so this is what I said. It's great to dream and imagine great wealth, but let's keep it real. So most of anyone's success has come from hard work, timely investments, inheritance, or just goddamn luck, or like being in the right place at the right time.
Sure.
That doesn't mean that you can't fucking have goals and work hard and all this other stuff. But also, this is actually pointed at more of the harp of people that are taking advantage of other people in the world. So our show is more towards the 30 to 50 range audience. So if you know somebody that's elderly, make sure they're not getting fucked over by somebody that's calling them and scamming them. Just ask them.
Sure.
You're not giving money to, because I would say 50% of the time, those elderly are getting scammed by something.
I feel like there's coalitions and stuff now, though. Like, there are people that are looking out for them more and more. And like if you fuck something up, they'll put it out there on blast.
But
And
I'm just saying,
everybody in that community and that group of people living that life will be made aware of it.
If grandma's living at home and doesn't give it a lot of visitors, and she's living by herself,
yeah,
it's just hard to say unless she's got lots of friends or
True.
whatever. I don't know. The scammers, the taking advantagers, whatever you want to call,
yeah,
they're out there. But no, seriously, I don't know. It's real. That's for sure.
yeah.
We actually, the scammers have infiltrated the JOB for sure. We get all kinds of spam every single day,
man.
and you know some people click on it, and we actually at our JOB we actually have a thing now where we're not doing it right at the moment, but we send out fake ones just to see who bite, because it's really about training. It's really about, we'd much rather click on the fake ones and then say, hey, you need to watch this video about this shit than actually screw up something in the corporation.
But I'm going to tell you what, anybody that spends enough time on a computer should have an understanding of what you do and do not do when it comes to these things.
But people don't get it.
It should be basic fucking... Guess what? You did not win a Target gift card for $100 for free just by sitting on your ass.
But that's not just
You didn't.
it. That's not just it. Those are kind of easy, right? The ones that people get fucked up are they'll send it to the IT and they'll be like, hey, is this legit? And I'll just honestly say, is this a customer of yours? They'll be like, yeah. I'm like, call them. Instead of clicking on it, call them. Say, Jim, did you send me this PO? No, I didn't. Thank you. By the way,
enough.
you might have got hacked.
Yeah.
By the way, because they're sending shit out on behalf of you.
Right.
But see, and then there's another one where they'll say like, hey, somebody in the higher ups in your company needs you to buy something. And there are people that have gotten fooled with this. And
That's crazy
It's
talk.
not there's smart people too. And you just got to watch out, because
I don't think I could do it. That's one I don't think I could possibly fall for.
I know, but you never would think you'd do a false confession either, would you?
I wouldn't ever do a false confession. Ever.
There's people that think that way, man.
To think what way?
That they would never.
Dude, I know that I would never give a false confession about nothing.
After 10 hours in the tank?
I could you could give me fucking 10 days in the tank without fucking sleep. That is one thing that I know is what I do and what I don't do. I have conviction about it.
I don't know, man. I've been watching these false confession tapes. Yeah.
I get it. Me too.
Some of these people aren't the sharpest tools in the shed, but what they say is if they can get you to think that you blacked out.
These are people that can be manipulated. You're watching shows that are based on 10 people out of 700 million.
True.
Right? Like, these are not every single person all the time. You're talking about skilled people that are conducting the interviews.
Correct.
That are pointing them in a direction, and people that on some level are some kind of vulnerable to being open to the idea of, is there a chance that I did that and I don't remember it? Because I'm pretty fucking sure every day of my life what I do and what I don't do. You killed these two people. Go fuck yourself. No, I didn't. Guarantee.
But here's the funny thing. All those fake confessions or real confessions, whatever they are,
yeah,
all those people had to say is, I want to talk to a lawyer. And that shit is over.
Every fucking time.
They just have to say, I want to talk to a lawyer. And that interrogation is fucking over.
If I could ever give one piece of advice to the entire country, that is a right that we have that so many people do not take. And they have to provide you that lawyer. You don't have to spend your own money on a lawyer. The minute that they ask you a question about anything, literally anything, nope, lawyer. They take me in, they ask me a single question, where do you live? I would like to talk to a lawyer. And that's fucking it from right there. Because they're not here to be your friends. Like, I love our law enforcement. I feel like most law enforcement is here to serve and protect. I feel like most investigators and prosecutors are here to close cases.
Boom. And we've watched enough, and you have to be smart enough to understand that they want to close cases as fast as they can.
Yes.
And if they can prove it was you, guess what? Even if it wasn't you, and you say, I did it.
Done.
You're going to jail for life if it's a murder.
Done. Well, maybe I could have, I don't know. Oh, so then they just keep on keeping on. Nope. Never.
I mean, right now, I would. I mean, any because we're very similar with our mindsets, and there's no way in hell because God damn it, I'm fear of prison or would be enough for me to be like, yo, you can't convince me to say I did it.
Not even just a fear of prison. I'm a person.
It's pretty big though.
I feel like you're the same way though too. Is I don't lolly my way through life a lot. I don't do things on happenstance. Like literally every motion I make is intentional. Like sitting here right now, doing the show with you. This is an intentional use of my time. I'm in this exact position at this exact place and time because this is where I want to be.
Every 2 weeks.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like to me, that's where I don't know how people just. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I was there. I don't know. Maybe I did choke her. Like I don't know. That's a whole nother fucking can of worms that I just that shit's retarded. So we went from too good to be true to false confessions. See,
Hey.
that's what we do.
I told him. I said this show could veer off into many directions.
What was that at the end there?
I don't know.
Was that Russian?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Was it Irish?
Yeah.
All right.
What do you got next up on the line? Yeah.
Okay, so sometimes on social media you see people or you hear them or you see something and there's some people portraying to be like, I don't know, something simple like a big drinker, and then you go out with them and they don't drink at all. Just something simple like that.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm just want to be here to, don't be afraid to be you. The harp is don't be fucking fake. That's it. Don't be fake. Have you ever run across this?
Like, are you talking about like just online or in life in general?
It can
or
be
what?
both.
I mean, I don't disagree, but I feel like most people's lives that they put onto social media because it's open to criticism, they're cherry picking the best of the best. Unless they're that person that posts nothing but bitching and whining and complaining. Like, I feel like you get two different types of people, really. Actually, three, if you want to count the grandmas.
But if you're the bitch and whine and complaining, anybody want to come hang out with them?
I mean, other people that like to bitch, whine, and complain. I don't know.
I don't know. It just, to me, it seems. I just hate the false fronts, and
I agree, man.
I guess it's just, don't be afraid to be you. What I got here is most people will respect you more for you who you are than who you aren't.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Like, I always quote Kid Rock by, if you want people to think that you're big time, you act like you're big time. But at the same time, if you can't back it up, they ain't coming around no more.
Right. You need to shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth, motherfucker.
Shut your mouth.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I don't know. I agree. I think that we're getting to a time that people are less and less authentic all the time. Part of it is because you can be whoever you want to be online.
And behind the keyboard.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's a fucking keyboard warrior. The other problem is that in our day-to-day life, everything is so constricted right now. You can't have an opinion on anything. You can't go outside of this box. You can't say that you think that anybody in the way that they live their life is wrong. You can't have an opinion about anything.
There's a lot of people that do, though.
So, and those people are chastised and looked down on repeatedly, to where if you do, you open yourself up to all kinds of problems. I mean, you get people calling your work trying to get you fired and shit, because you had an opinion on something, to where we are living in a world where it's harder to be authentic now. Especially, and I'm sorry, you're not going to like this, but I don't give a fuck. If you ain't on the left, it's harder than fuck to be on the right-hand side and just be authentic all the time, because you're criticized for everything that you do and don't do. It's never ending. It drives me fucking crazy.
I don't know.
You don't know what?
I don't really have an opinion on that. I mean, whether it's harder to be on the left or the right, I'd say just still be yourself. If they want to criticize you for being yourself, fuck them.
Yeah. Well,
I guess unless you're like the head of a corporation.
I mean, I feel like we're pretty honest people, but like I don't go running around touting every thought and ideology that I have.
What do you mean? You dress up as Trump for Halloween?
I did. And I'll tell you what, those were the happiest kids you've ever seen on Halloween. Like every one of them. It was so wonderful. Like just to see those kids come up. And I could have been dressed up as fucking Snuffleupagus. I wouldn't have cared. Just to see the kids that happy. I was like genuinely surprised.
Yeah.
Like they're all coming around. Oh, look, it's the president. Make America great again. Yay. Like, just hope yet.
All right. So, do you have anything more on that?
I think that's it.
Okay. So we got a little bit of time.
Okay.
So let's talk about the latest. Have you been following anything?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So what is going on now with the impeachment?
So, for those of you that are not paying attention super close, this is going to be confusing. Donald Trump has not been impeached. I know that there is a certain sector of you that is screaming right now that I'm an idiot. Slow down and listen. The articles of impeachment went through the House of Representatives, right? Which, through that process, I don't know if you saw this, you had 3 Democrats. Have you seen what these 3 Democrats did?
No.
1 voted present. That's basically like a fuck you, I'm not voting with you, but I'm still here.
Like present.
Like I'm here. I'm not backing you, but I'm
not backing the Dems?
Yes.
Okay.
Not backing it. Like, I'm not going to pick a fight with you, but it ain't happening. Number 2 voted against. Like, went across the party line and said, you know what? This is a fucking farce, man. Like, this whole thing is a joke. So I'm voting against you.
Democrat left and went to the...
Oh, that's number 3. No. So 1 said, I'm here. I'm not voting. One of them said, I'm here. I'm voting with the other team. One guy said, fuck y'all. I'm out. I'm switching teams. So he literally switched teams in the middle of his term and is now a Republican in the House of Representatives because this was such a fucking sham. And he said, if I don't get reelected in my district because I'm a Republican, I'm okay with that because I can't be part of this political party anymore.
Whoa.
That don't happen every day. Like that's
So now what did these 3 people need to do to get this
nothing. They just followed along with what was going on. I mean, dude, if you go back and watch it, some of the stuff that was said, like just trying to tie everything to Trump being a racist. They had all of these claims of all of this proof that they had, and they have nothing. Nothing shows that he did literally anything.
But the problem is that they have come out from the start.
Right.
And I don't care if it was the other way. I don't care if Trump was a Democrat and it was the Republicans doing this. You can't come out immediately and be so worried about him getting reelected again that you make these statements 4 years ago, 3 years ago. Well, the only way to get him out is to impeach him.
Right.
How can any of this be valid if that was your stance before you even had anything valid to impeach him on?
I'm with you, man. It's crazy.
All you have heard since he got elected was
that they wanted to come after him.
That they were going to do something. They had to do something to get him out of there.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but things aren't really all that different.
What do you mean?
From my day-to-day life hasn't changed.
In the last 4 years?
How has it changed?
I beg to differ with you greatly.
Gas prices?
Gas prices, if you want to talk about that. The economy.
They've gone down a little bit.
I mean, I know that people go like, oh my God, the economy. Your 401k is leaps and bounds of ahead of where it was 3 years ago.
I think it is a little bit.
Leaps, and unless you had it in nothing, like legitimately, no. I'm talking people are getting 30% returns on their shit, on top of what they're putting in, on top of their company matches. I mean, people are getting 401ks that are setting them up for retirement right now.
I have noticed that.
Breaking records left and fucking right. We have more jobs than people to work for the first time in history. We're energy dependent, which is keeping the gas prices down. It's going to roll into your electric prices and everything else. I mean, here's the thing is some of the changes that are made, the immediate effects of them do not happen overnight. No, like there is a time period.
But what I'm saying is, for the general public, yes, those things are great. The being energy, what did you say?
Independent.
Energy independent is awesome.
Yeah.
Not needing to go anywhere else to get it, great. Fucking great.
Yeah.
Having more jobs in the country is freaking great.
Right.
Because those who want to work can go work.
Yeah.
It's awesome. But what I'm saying is, for the average caveman that doesn't pay attention to much,
yeah,
people freak out like so much is changing with... I don't know what the fucking freak out is all about.
mean, there's a million things that the freak out are about. The coal industry, like that you want to talk about something that's a hot button topic right now, because Trump has done everything to put these people back to work. I mean, to where it's helped with our energy reliance, to where we are mining coal and we're burning the shit out of it. We are developing better and cleaner ways of burning it, to where the emissions that are coming out of it are nothing like they were 50 years ago when we were at the height of just burning the shit out of stuff. Do they still have to send
people down into coal mines?
Yeah, there's people that still work in coal mines. You know what fucking Biden said about it? He's like, well, all those people can learn how to code. Can they? Can every coal miner go learn how to code?
Code is in...
As in clickety click click clack clack clack. I'm Yes, this is the mentality that we're dealing with right now. Like that is their solution to problems like this.
I'm gonna tell you
you're gonna worry about putting 300,000 people out of work.
I have a lot of internal customers that can't even do some simple things. So not every coal miner can code.
You and I know that. They don't understand that at all. It's absolutely insane. I mean, I wish for the love of God that somebody could just give me a list of the things that he's doing wrong. Like, I've said this for 4 years now, I just
don't like him.
That's what it comes down to. It's not popular because he's the guy that's going to be like, no, fuck you. I'm doing it this way. I mean, he doesn't cower to all these countries. I mean, have you seen what's going, like some of the things that they will not publicize? The denuclearization on the Korean Peninsula. We've had back-to-back presidents. One of them was a Republican. They were basically like, we don't know what to fucking do here. We don't know what to fucking do. He's got that shit on lockdown right now. They ain't building shit. We're making friendships. That's awesome. Bam. Pulled out of Syria. We ain't even fucking with Syria no more. Got the Taliban to where the Taliban, who is actually being seen as a legitimate regime now, instead of just being vilified, to where these people are actually trying to build a life. You know what I mean? They feel like that's what they're fighting for. Complete ceasefire. To where we're talking with them about, okay, what can we do to where you guys are fucking blowing up towns and we're sending people over here to blow you up and you're blowing us up, and can we just all get to fucking along?
I did see he was talking to them.
Dude, you take just those three things together, we got the first guy that's ever going to be impeached and win a Nobel Peace Prize in the same year. It's going to be the craziest shit you ever saw in your life. And they have no rebuttal for it. Did you see what happened?
Wait. You just said he's going to be impeached?
So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what... If they get what they think that they're going to get, but it's never going to happen.
Tell me why it's never going to happen.
Because you're never going to get it through the Senate. Okay, first off, this is the best part. Nancy, for months, Nancy Pelosi has been screaming about how President Trump is shitting on the Constitution and he's not being held liable to his position in government and that he's not fulfilling it up to the constitutional terms, and that's why they have to remove him from government. Fought this war for how many months? 6?
I don't know.
6?
Sure. 5,
somewhere around in there. I mean, I'm not too far off from when, I think it was September, when she actually started the articles of impeachment. Every fucking day, that's all you hear about, until they get done and they get the votes. Now she has to send it over to the Senate. Basically, all they did was say, we think there's enough here for you to impeach him. The House of Representatives cannot impeach a president. I will say that again for the slow learners at home. The House of Representatives cannot impeach a president. They can send articles of impeachment to the Senate. The Senate then has to have a trial and make their decision. In order to get it through the Senate, you have to get a 2/3 vote. Currently, if you count all independents, all Democrats, they make up 47 of the 100 votes, at least 53 votes that are on the Republican side. In order to get the number, which the magic number is 67, to break the 2/3, even 66 don't cut it. You got to get to 67. You're talking about needing 20 Republicans to flip against him. And then we already know that's not happening. We've got one Democrat that's saying that they won't vote at all on it, and another one that's already saying that they're against it. So now you're down to 22. You think you're going to flip 22 Republicans? That's almost half of them. You think you're going to flip fucking half of them? Complete fucking waste of everybody's time. And we all know the only reason that any of this is happening is because they're shitting their pants about 2020 and they know they can't win.
Okay, so big picture here.
Big picture.
He doesn't get impeached.
No.
They think this is going to tarnish him. It's not.
No.
It's going to make it worse. It's going to make the people that thought they were Democrats hate their party.
Yes.
Be like, this is stupid. What am I a part of?
Right.
Now, I'm talking about the general middle class working people. I'm not talking about the people in in the higher ups and that depend on this Democratic Party. I almost said democracy.
I know what you meant.
But it's going to make some people double think what they're doing.
Yeah. I don't know if I know we've talked about him on the show a little bit. Do you know who Andrew Yang is? I know we talked about him. He's the super rich guy.
You told me about him.
Again, if I had to, if I had a gun to my head and I had to vote for one of the candidates, definitely he would be my choice. He said something super intelligent the other day. He said, through all of these things that are going on, everybody has forgotten why President Trump was elected. Because people were tired of the way fucking things were. And he's fixing them. So unless you come up with a better way of fixing them than what he's offering, you're not going to win. He said, and throughout all of this stuff, all that people are seeing, especially in the Midwest and the South, is that it's one part of government fighting a stupid game that they're not going to win against the president of the United States. They said, if you think he's lost a single vote in the Midwest, you're not paying attention. It's like, well, thank you very much, Andrew Yang, for basically putting it on a silver platter. Like, they've got no shot. The best part would be if somehow they did flip the vote and they actually got it through, he would still be able to run in 2020. So there'd be like a 4 or 5 month period where he's not president and then he win again. And then
you think he would run again?
Oh, come on. I will say this as a supporter and somebody that believes in the work that he's doing. With everything.
How is that proper though?
Egomania. There is no question. You talk about wanting the notoriety. He's already known as the richest man ever to give up what he was doing and become president to try to improve a country, which he has done greatly. You want to start giving him things? Hey, buddy, now you can hang this on your mantle. Here's another trophy for the case right here.
You know what though? If he gets reelected and continues to do these good things and great things, no one will ever give him accolades for any of this until he's like 20 years dead.
Oh, dude, 20 years from now, it's going to be awesome. We're going to be talking about him the way that our parents talk about Reagan. Like, it's happening, man.
But that's what I'm saying. He'll have to die, and then 20 years after his death, then people will start to be like, oh,
yeah,
he did some good stuff. But people just hate him too much. I shouldn't say. There are certain people that hate him too much that just would never let a lot of that happen.
And they won't. But it is what it is. It's not going to change anything.
It's kind of like Pete Rose. Let Pete back in the Hall of Fame, you dumb fucks.
Fuck Pete Rose. Put him in the Hall of Fame, but that's it. Other than that, make Pete Rose stay out of public. I'm done with Pete Rose.
You done with him?
I told you about Pete Rose, didn't I? In Florida?
No.
Dude, go to Florida. Sorry, Vegas. Not Florida, Vegas. Go to Vegas for my wife's birthday. We're going.
You were a Pete Rose advocator. What happened?
Huge Pete Rose advocator. Put him in the Hall. Don't put him as the manager. Take that off. Take the manager off. He goes in as only a player.
Charlie Hustle. One
of the top 10 all-time players. Hard to argue the numbers across the board. Douchebag human being. He had this little kiosk set up in the mall.
You met him?
No, worse. He's behind
He wouldn't let you meet him.
No, you could have. I'm getting there. He's got this great big pane of glass up. He's sitting there. He's got his Philly. He had a Phillies hat on that day. They had a whole bunch of hats in the back. Apparently, if you want him to wear a particular hat, he will. Like for your picture session, So meet Pete Rose. I'm like, yes. Like any opportunity I had to meet somebody like that, I would be more than happy to meet Pete Rose. He's in there. He's working on a computer like he's in the middle of his day, And there's like 2 dudes sitting on the desk bullshitting with him. So details inside. We go inside. They've got this guy that's working at this little desk in the back. Yeah, well, meet Pete Rose right now. How many? We got 4 of you here? Yeah, we can get you on for the same price. All you have to do is pick your item of memorabilia that you want to buy. Go in. Pete will sign it with whatever you wanted to put on it. That's all you have to do. And you get 10 minutes to sit in there and just chit-chat with him, ask him any questions you want to. You can go enjoy your time with Pete Rose. The cheapest thing you could buy
Here we go.
was a baseball for $150.
Oh.
$150 for a $6 baseball in 10 minutes with Pete Rose? No fucking way. There is nobody, maybe Donald J. Trump. Outside of that, there's nobody on this planet that I'd pay $150 to spend 10 minutes with.
I could see a $50 baseball.
I would have even considered it then.
Right. I'm going to say $50
for an autographed Hall of Fame baseball from him.
Yeah.
If I could get him to put like Hall of Fame 87 on it, like when he got caught, like something like that, like that'd be fucking cool, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Or
total.
like World Series champion 1994 because
Yeah.
there was no World Series in 1994.
So I was that fucking dick that I'm like, I walked out of the store, walked right around the fucking corner where he was sitting, took my fucking picture of him sitting right there, turned around, got my fucking picture with him right there. Fuck you, Pete. I'm out.
We're going to post those on the website.
I will. I'll put them out there for you. I saved them. Fucking A, I sure saved them.
And guess what? They were free.
Yeah. And they had a big sign that he had a special guest coming in a couple weeks. Shaq was coming into town for something to where you're going to have Shaq and Pete Rose for a day. How much is that going to fucking cost?
There's no, well, it could be $150 basketball.
I'm glad that I wasn't there for that day because then I would have resented Shaq too.
Yeah.
Pretty sure homeboy don't need another nickel. I know he's got 47 kids. He's the Sean Kemp of successful people. I'm just saying. Shit's annoying.
Oh, all right. Well, let's get out of here.
All right, man. So, as we've been mentioning lately on the show, just a little shout out here. If you or anybody that you know is suffering from any mental health issues or substance issues, please contact SAMHSA at 1-800-622-4357.
It's a big deal out there. Mental health is huge.
We think that it's going to be the biggest health crisis of this next century that we're in. So anybody that needs help, go ahead and jump up there and help them. Raise your hand. The hotline's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365.
Yep.
Reach out.
If you're having bad thoughts about yourself or hurting yourself or hurting other people, please reach out.
Right. Remember that you're amazing. And if somebody's not being amazing to you, Tim Misney will make them pay.
He will make them pay. I lost it.
That's all I got. Have a good night. We'll talk to you guys again soon.
Pip, pip.
Cheerio.